Okay, I just got home after work. Now it's time for lunch. No, really, I just got the table out and the pad, and that's it. There we go.
And extremely smelly.
Lunch
Adam and Jamie
lunch.
will find a skunk, get it to hose them with its caustic cologne, then try to get rid of the smell using a bunch of time-honored home remedies, including tomato juice, beer, and feminine hygiene products. They need to build a decontamination shower and a pool for the runoff.
I'm afraid of getting sprayed and, vomiting right in our cooling pool. And then, I don't know what to do after that.
These guys have created special effects for dozens of movies and TV commercials. So building a shower cubicle and a black plastic pool is a no-brainer.
I can see right through that.
Although they haven't given much thought to privacy.
Look at that. Pretty as a picture. Your very own decontamination chamber. So you want to hand me the hose up to the top? Oh, that's great! So we got a table full of home remedies for skunk smell right here.
And some professional ones.
Yeah, well, we got the tomato paste, we got your hydrogen peroxide baking soda vinegar mixture, we've got your feminine hygiene products, dish soap, beer.
Drinking the beer, or are we cleaning with it?
Well, if we get clean with it, we'll have one later.
Skunks, huh?
I'm not looking forward to this.
All we need is a skunk. Enter the guys from Critter Control. Jeff wrangles nuisance wildlife for a living, and skunks are high on the list. Amazingly, he has never been sprayed.
But I mean, it's an occupational hazard, so you must know some of the many old wives' tales about how to get rid of the smell of a skunk.
Well, yeah, there's one with the hydrogen peroxide and baking soda and liquid dish soap. That's probably pretty good for pets.
Now, the most famous one that we've all heard all our lives is, of course, tomato juice. Can you tell us about that?
Well, if you like red dogs, you know.
Until I'm wearing clothes that were bought by the production, I'm going to stand over here.
That cage will stay somewhere dark and quiet, while everyone prepares to do battle with the putrid smell. The crew's taking no chances. It's wall-to-wall protective suits and nose plugs.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Our stars, however, are going for a more relaxed, outdoorsy feel.
You know, for some reason, I realize that we're going to get sprayed by a skunk somewhere in the very near future, but what I'm thinking about more is, wow, I'm just about to have, like, gallons of tomato sauce poured all over me.
Is that appealing?
No, not at all.
Adam, if that's what's worrying you, you obviously never had a dose of ode to skunk. Skunk musk is secreted in 2 grape-sized glands at the base of the tail and can be aimed with deadly accuracy over several feet. The noxious liquid is made up of a rancid recipe of chemicals called thiols. Thiols are the compounds that cause decomposing flesh and feces to smell bad. Thiols are activated by water molecules, so trying to wash out the skunk smell only results in more skunk smell. Okay, it's time for our guest star to kick up a stink.
What's the typical trajectory? They like lift their tail and then it kind of, as it come up,
Yeah, I mean, they'll
they'll
aim.
they'll aim.
And you'll tell when they're being threatened.
Yeah.
They'll start pouncing with their front feet. That's
Okay.
a warning.
Hey, I haven't asked this before, but does their scent, like, burn when it hits your skin?
No? Okay, good.
Oh God.
Now, look, you gotta stay. Here's, business in it.
You'd think it wouldn't be too difficult getting a skunk to fire off a couple of rounds. Jamie and Adam are primed for a point-blank blast of malodorous
I like being
musk.
asked.
But
So, hey, guys.
is remaining calm, cool, and collected.
Have you ever had a skunk spray in a cage? Is there something that,
What you want to do is probably put your hand moving
in front
behind
of his face?
Hey, guys.
Go behind you so you can see it.
Watch out, everyone, I've got a loaded skunk! This is how you
Help me, please.
Come on, bud.
There's a barefoot.
I think you should start singing.
You know, they say never work with children or animals.
Skunks hate the sounds of industry.
The Mythbusters are trying everything.
Hammers, drills, drives them crazy.
there's not even a single squalid squirt.
You guys.
Have another skunk? We ended up with one of those friendly skunks.
We had a bit of a letdown. You know, we got ourselves all psyched to get skunked.
We managed to find Buddha reincarnated as a skunk. It was like we couldn't do anything to get him to go.
Nothing happened. What are you gonna do? You know, we couldn't hurt or even seriously harass the poor thing.
Well, it doesn't work.
Here we go now.
Still to come on Mythbusters. White light, white heat.
I'm not sitting over here, you know, goofing off.
Adam and Jamie turn up the heat on Archimedes' death ray.
50.
And
We tested home remedies.
We're getting rid of skunk funk.
Hey guys, I'm making lunch right now because I'm starving, and that's all I'm really doing, making lunch and watching TV. That's all I'm really doing right now. This morning, I wish the camera rolling this morning because this morning the cats went crazy. This morning, I had a cat right over here out the window. All three of them went crazy.
Let the world know we're here.
That's what I'm going to say. This morning was awesome. I wish we were recording this morning, but it was not. I was here for work. Before I started working, they went crazy, and that'd been funny to have on camera, but missed it. Right now, I'm making lunch, so yeah. So you guys want to ask me a question? Ask me a question, I'll answer it for you. Lunch is almost done, so yeah. Freaking
Movies, sports,
starving.
exclusives,
Yeah.
streaming on Peacock.
waiting for my lunch to be done. So that's all I'm doing right now, is waiting for my lunch.
This?
If you have a question, just ask me. I'll answer your question. You guys have a question, I'll answer it.
Pure, unbridled
It's almost time for the new
That's
thing.
the feeling at Home Goods.
I'll be on for an hour, guys. So if you guys got a question, so just ask me. I
More
mean,
variety to choose from.
whatever the post. Yeah, that's all I'm really doing is killing some time, guys. So if you have questions, put in the chat and I'll
So when
answer it.
something makes your heart race, you'll know it's yours to keep. Because the best things in life don't cost a fortune. They're found. Home Goods.
If you guys don't know what I'm having for lunch, it's hot dogs. That's all I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm having hot dogs for lunch. So yeah, guys, if you have a question, post it in the chat and I'll answer it for you guys. And then that's all I'm gonna say right now. Right now I'm making lunch right now, so that's all you gotta know.
A Subaru with eyesight watches the lines for any danger
That's all I'm doing now.
and can automatically stop itself.
Is everyone okay?
Your family is safer in a 3-row Subaru Ascent.
You're not safe enough.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
I know, but that's what a car is supposed to do. That makes sense. You kids are cute. You guys are silly cute kitty cats, you know that? You guys have always been silly kitty cats, you know that?
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. Cause I'm paying so much for home internet and that's just wrong.
I got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy. Very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one core.
Roll on.
Introducing T-Mobile 5G home internet. Just $50 a month. It's that simple.
The reluctant skunk actually foiled our attempts to get sprayed the other day. What's on the agenda now? What do we do?
Well, we've got 2 more skunks coming, and, you know, one can only assume that sooner or later we're going to get one that works. And just in case that doesn't work, we have a backup, which is odor de skunk. It's synthetic skunk.
But it's the same stuff as the skunk scent.
It's chemically identical. Smells like it to me from here.
Oh man, I might lose my lunch today. So there's just no way we're escaping getting sprayed.
No, we're going to stink, no matter what.
So I'm having hot dogs. Yep, I'm having hot dogs for lunch. I might change when I'm watching something
Table
else.
full of products that are supposed to bust this stinking skunk, but they need a skunk with more spunk. The Critter Control Man returns.
Hey, you got a couple of stinkers for us?
Oh, I got one. You got one? It's a female. I think it's a smaller.
The boys go into their skunk scaring routine. But once again, unbelievably, they come up smelling of roses.
Well, Jimmy, once again we've proved something radical in Mythbusters, that skunks apparently don't spray and can't harm.
It's possible that this little girl's out of ammo. A skunk's scent glands hold about a tablespoon of musk. When the tank's empty,
Protection at lifelock.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Fellas, you ready?
YouTube.
Good luck, man.
I'm gonna watch some, but there's nothing on TV to watch right now. It's just too early.
Welcome to Allstate. Here, we'll never ask you to compromise. Great service and great protection at great low rates you want? Yep, no compromises here. Allstate. Better protection costs a whole lot less. Click for a great auto rate today.
7 years after being kidnapped, Stephen returns.
What? Attention went to Stephen. My brother Kerry, he was jealous.
Check this out, Pops. This guy's selling a 37 Oldsmobile. It's in pretty good shape, man.
And it's in Pahrump?
My dad's always pushing me to find better deals. You'd think he'd be willing to drive an extra hour to find one.
Go buy it, Rick. I don't want to waste a whole day going out to Pahrump.
It's not a whole day. We drive there, the car sucks, we turn around, drive back.
That car's a classic, Rick. It's worth going to look at.
Just trust me on this.
All right, let's go. You're driving.
Fine. I know Corey's trying to score a big deal, and I should support him. Taking a whole day to scope out a car? It better be good. Oh, wow. I told you it looks good, man. Look at it.
Yeah, it does look pretty nice.
It does look clean.
It's a 1937 model L37 four-door sedan. This was my dad's car, and the story goes Bugsy Siegel used to drive the car around. He was the main guy that helped develop Las Vegas.
That's cool.
I decided to call the guys down from the pawn shop to look at my 1937 Oldsmobile. I have mixed emotions about selling the car, but I'm ready to make a deal today. I'm looking to get $15,500. I feel that's a very fair amount, and I don't think...
We'll put off calling about life insurance.
You
Before
too.
you know it, another year's passed.
So yeah, guys, if you have questions, ask me. I'll answer it. A $30 bill.
Hey, how you doing? I wanted something I thought maybe you'd be interested in. Yeah, I've got a $30 bill made by the United States.
Let me see this thing.
Absolutely.
Looks like a $20 bill to me.
It does. And that looks like 10.
Now it looks like a $10 bill.
I'm a currency collector. This is probably the
A $30 bill. A 1974 $30 bill. Oh, I have 6 tonight. That's what I want to do right now. I have 6. And chips. Yep. For Chris. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get sick. Next, very much. If I got my money, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mom, can we go next? We're gonna get. My new shoes today, so I took them out. I have to work. We're going to the bank. I hope the mail comes soon because I want to see if I got any mail today.
very favorite piece from my collection. I've owned it 5, 6, maybe 7 years. The reason I'm going to sell it now is because it has no immediate place in my collection, and I don't see it having a place in the near or long-term future.
I've never seen anything like this before. I don't really know too much about this, so this one's from 1974.
Those were the last ones made.
So what happened? There was just an error on the printing press or something?
Yeah, exactly. They put the backs first, and they let them dry overnight, and then instead of printing the front with a 10, they accidentally slipped those in, and they printed the front with a 20.
That is pretty cool. I mean, the Treasury doesn't usually allow stuff like this to get out into the public hands. Don't they catch that pretty quick?
Yeah, they really do. Every once in a while, something sneaks out.
Okay, and so normally they would like destroy these if they found them, right?
Correct.
Well, you know, it is graded though. PCGS is definitely what you want to see on there when you're looking for grading in currency. Extremely fine, 45. I don't even exactly know what that means.
That's all right.
I know extremely fine is good though.
That's very good. It's very good.
And I mean, it all looks legit. It's sealed. It's definitely a $10 bill on the back and a $20 bill on the front. I mean,
Well, this
just from my untrained naked eye, it looks perfect.
It's nearly perfect.
How much are you looking to get?
I guess I'm looking for $35,000 on this.
That's a lot of money for $30.
It is.
I don't know enough about this to even make you an offer, so I'd like to call someone in and kind of get their opinion on what it is and what they think about it.
Sure, fair enough. Let's do it.
Okay, give me just a minute. I'll have someone down here and see if we can't make a deal on this thing.
Ready when you are. I think my asking price is realistic enough that I expect the expert to come in, with a range that includes $35,000.
You cannot spend it for $30.
I think you lose some money on that.
You could. You definitely don't want to. This bill is Series 1974. When they were discovered, I believe the Fed came in, they heard about them, and retrieved as many as they could. But around 2000, I'd say maybe 26, 27, escaped. Well, it's obviously certified, so you probably don't have many questions on condition. What do you...
I mean, I don't really know what this means, so...
Okay, so PCGS has certified this a 45, extremely fine, on a scale of 1 to 70, 1 being the worst, 70 being the best. This is towards the higher middle range. As you can see, it looks considerably better than the assigned grade. The folds are very subtle.
Okay. So how much do you think this is worth?
Well, I'd put an auction value, I would expect this to bring between 30 and 40,000. 40 on the greatest day, 30 on an average day.
Okay, well, I think that's what I need to know.
All right, I appreciate it. My pleasure. The $30 bill error is extremely sought out by collectors. It's one of the most popular and dramatic errors that could possibly exist. If somebody can get this at a reasonable price, you should absolutely buy this for the shop.
So, what do you think?
I still think it's worth $35,000. That's right in the middle of your expert's estimate.
You know, I wouldn't doubt that it's worth $35,000, but that is an auction setting. I mean, I could probably go 20,000. I think 20,000 is still leaving me with enough room to make a decent profit there.
You know, I think there's plenty of profit potential there at 20. It's just not going to work for me. How about 27.5?
This is going to be my last offer, max value that I can pay for here. I think if I offer you $22,000, I think there's enough room in there for me to make a profit that I need to make.
I just can't go below 25,000. I just can't. Appreciate your offer, but
All right.
thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not the least bit disappointed that I didn't sell for 25,000. Certainly 22K is out of the question. I know this thing's going to bring 30 to 40,000. I just don't want to leave too much money on the table.
Mr. Brown, my dad won famously. I until to a past, I copped it all myself.
It's got a name engraved on it. How did you learn how to do it?
Sounds so fun.
Yo, Garrett, it's Devo. You know now? You are a lot of right. I just got one thing to say to anyone trying to stop you. Man, good luck. See you at the draft.
So this is I think the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic.
Ninja Turtles? So you're talking the very first Ninja Turtles?
I'm pretty sure this is the one I had when I was a kid. My mom kept it, so this is the very first one.
84 is when it came out. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? There was Raphael, Michelangelo.
You know what you remind me of? Master Splinter.
So he was like the rat ninja boss t-shirt.
Yeah, just like you. The Rap Ninja Box t-shirt.
Okay, so tell me, how much you want?
Well, I saw somewhere that one of these went for 50,000.
Okay. So how much do you want for it?
60,000.
So more than they went for.
It's just a sign.
Okay. I know there's big money here. If it's a first edition and it's in great shape. You know, I don't know what a signature looks like.
I mean, looks like a Ninja Turtle.
I know someone who will definitely know about this.
Okay.
I'm going to go call him and see.
You're spitting the best brisket in Texas all over the damn table.
If ever on a road trip through the South, stopping at all of the best Southern fast food joints along the way is a must. So get out your map app and start dropping pins on these 10 Southern fast food chains we wish were everywhere. Bojangles.
Bojangles, you got so.
Founded in 1977 in Charlotte, Carolina, Bojangles is a fried chicken restaurant chain with a Cajun flavor. You can stop by for breakfast and chow down on a Cajun chicken filet biscuit or grab lunch or dinner. A popular order is the bone-in fried chicken, and you definitely need to participate in at least a few of the fixins. Mac and cheese, green beans, and mashed potatoes are all good choices. And just in case you didn't think the place was Southern enough, you can also get a helping of grits. And for dessert, why not try the sweet potato fried pie? The chain has gone through a number of owner groups over the decades and a couple of heavy periods of expansion, which today puts them at over 600 locations, primarily in the South and Southeast. Over the years, the chain has bojangled its way into the Northeast with locations in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and the like.
I should start expanding.
But in those states, there are a combined 6 restaurants, whereas in Alabama alone, there are 31, with 104 in Georgia and a whopping 340 in North Carolina. Bojangles is one of the largest fast food chains that is very much primarily found only in the South. Biscuitville.
Talking hard.
Biscuitville? What the hell?
Biscuitville, home of the biscuit window since 1966. First, let's dig into what Biscuitville is. Their tagline is Southern Fresh, and that's exactly what they are. It's hard to believe it, but it's true. At Biscuitville, they make all their biscuits from scratch, hot every 15 minutes. Which brings us back to the biscuit window. While you wait for your order, you can watch the biscuits being made. They have nothing to hide and are proud to provide a window to their guests to see how it gets done. And from what we've heard, all that work and dedication to scratch making the biscuits pays off in just how good they taste. And they pair perfectly with all of the delicious between the biscuit options. From country ham to fried pork chops, bacon, sausage and eggs, fried chicken, and more.
That's one too many.
This is definitely one that Northern Americans would love, but that just isn't an option these days. In fact, it isn't just the North that's missing out on these awesome biscuits. If you're not in North Carolina or Virginia, then you will be forced to cross state lines to gaze at the famous biscuit window.
Nope.
There are currently just 62 Biscuitville locations, and they're all in those 2 states. Whataburger.
Let's go to Whataburger.
What? A Whataburger?
Mountain Dew. That's not what he said.
You know how folks in California are always telling the rest of the country that In-N-Out is the greatest burger joint in the country? Well,
That's high now.
The South feel about Whataburger. Around
So it's like-
1450,
so it's high now.
of their locations, more than 670, are in the great state of Texas. New Mexico has over 100.
So it's like hot now in Sturgis.
In the rest of the South, there are 126 franchised locations you can check out. While their orange Wonder Woman-inspired logo is enough to make you want to check them out, the food most definitely lives up to the expectations. The founders of the restaurant had 2 goals in mind when they opened the first location. They wanted to make a burger that was so big people would have to hold it with 2 hands, and so good that it would make people say, "Whataburger!" And although you can't get a burger for 25 cents anymore, you still need 2 hands to hold these large hamburgers. Whataburger is such an important part of the state that in 2001, during the 77th Texas legislative session, they passed a bill declaring Whataburger to be a Texas treasure. How many fast food restaurants can say that? Taco Cabana.
Oh, the
Taco.
Cabana?
You might be thinking that you can get fast food tacos no matter where you are. That whenever you have a craving that has you thinking outside the box, there's probably a Taco Bell close by to satiate that craving. So why do you need Taco Cabana? Well, sometimes you just want to live Moss with a slightly more authentic and homemade Tex-Mex culinary experience. And when that's the case, your only option for that awesome Taco Cabana experience is to make a run for the border, the Texas or New Mexico border, that is, because the chain only has locations in those states.
We must find it first.
Since the beginning, the restaurant has made fresh food and ingredients a focus, and it comes through in the taste. They make the tacos fresh, and they definitely use real, actual meat. No controversy over at Taco Cabana. Their queso is delicious, and they make their own salsa from scratch. And while they do offer indoor seating, many locations offer patios, and there's a drive-through service as well. In Texas and New Mexico, you can find a lot of great taco joints, but to have one in the fast food space is a blessing that folks in the north and even the rest of the South should be jealous of. Dat Dog.
Hot dogs, not so hot dogs, cold and droopy.
Hot dogs are one of the most popular food items in North America, and yet how many fast food chains dedicated to the encased tubes of meat can you think of? We consider a
Hardings.
great one, Dat Dog, but unfortunately there aren't a lot of them, and the ones that exist are only in Louisiana. Mardi Gras, great jazz music, and Dat Dog. It's like New Orleans gets all the good stuff. And as great as a classic hot dog with ketchup and mustard is, Dat Dog offers so many options, you could go back almost every day and never have to repeat an order. Although before we get to all the toppings, we need to mention that besides beef hot dogs, they also offer duck, crawfish, and alligator sausages.
So many choices, Maggie.
Now, as for what you can put on the sausage of your choice, blue cheese, blackberry sauce, pico de gallo, sauerkraut, and crawfish etouffee are just a few of the options. And feel free to bring your non-meat eating friends and let them choose from one of the various vegan sausages on offer. Hot dogs aren't just for baseball games and 4th of July barbecues, but at least for now, Dat Dog is only for folks in the Big Easy. East Hampton Sandwich Company.
Watching you eat sandwich after sandwich after sandwich.
For a long time, Subway has had a monopoly on the fast food sandwich market, mostly because they are a national chain. And while we have nothing bad to say about their product, the East Hampton Sandwich Company takes the sandwich to a whole other level that leaves Subway and pretty much every other chain sandwich shop in the dust. If you've never been to one and you don't live in Texas, then it's probably best not to Google them, because one look at their sandwiches and you'll be craving one big time. A craving that can only be satisfied in the state of Texas.
Texas?
Grilled chicken, fried chicken, roasted pork, shaved beef, maple bacon, and prosciutto di Parma are just a few of the ingredients they put between 2 delicious pieces of bread. The East Hampton Sandwich Company seems like an odd name for a southern joint, but they do offer some menu items that speak to the northeastern part of the country that is its namesake, particularly their lobster rolls and ham and cheese sandwiches. And while the small chain only has locations in Texas, there are only 3 locations in all, which means that not only does the rest of the country need the East Hampton Sandwich Company, but Texas needs more of them as well. Crystal.
You gotta warn somebody before you hand them a square burger.
You might look at Crystal with their small square burgers and think to yourself that it's just another White Castle, and why would we need it everywhere? Sure, Harold and Kumar might not be able to tell the difference, but they were not in the best frame of mind, so that doesn't count. And yes, the founders of Crystal did visit White Castle in Chicago just before setting up their first joint in Chattanooga. But ask anyone in the southern states where Crystal thrives, and they will tell you that White Castle has nothing on them besides the size and shape of their signature burgers. They would claim that the fresh onions, a little mustard, and pickle give Crystal a flavor advantage.
It's an evolutionary advantage.
Crystal also has a number of chicken offerings and little hot dogs called pups. They really have taken this smaller size thing to heart. In fact, in the 2007 Crystal Square Off, competitive eater Joey Chestnut set a world record by finishing off 103 Crystal burgers in 8 minutes. We feel pretty confident saying he couldn't have done that many Whoppers in 8 minutes. You can find Crystal restaurants across 10 different states in the South and Southeast, from Alabama to Florida. Kentucky and Tennessee are the only 2 states that have both White Castle and Crystal locations. Cookout.
Earlier, we had a packing cookout.
Who doesn't love a good cookout? Well, now you can do so anytime you want. Well, as long as you reside in one of the lucky states that host cookout restaurants. The first cookout location opened up in 1989 in North Carolina, and it stayed within those state borders for years, expanding to 50 locations in North Carolina before making the jump over state lines in 2010. Things moved fast after that, and the chain now consists of almost 300 locations across 10 southern states. Cookout has been described as walking into an awesome food court at the mall. Chopped pork barbecue, chicken nuggets, char-grilled hamburgers, corn dogs, and more. And make sure you try the Cheer Wine Float, a delicious combination of cherry soda and vanilla soft-serve ice cream.
Ah, refreshing.
Sure, there are good burger joints and good barbecue chains up north, but no place does both like they do at Cookout. And if you ever do get to one, may we suggest the tray. This mix and match style combo meal gets you a big double burger and 2 sides. But when they say sides, they don't just mean fries and onion rings. While those are options, other options include corn dogs, chicken nuggets, and bacon wraps. Golden Chick.
With a chick here and a chick there.
There are those who think that when it comes to fried chicken, it's the Colonel or bust. But while KFC may be the most far-reaching, folks in Texas, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Louisiana, Florida, and Nevada have access to a place that might be even better. The sad part is that everyone else in the other 44 states will have to cross state lines in order to do a comparison taste test, or fly across the ocean, as the chain can also be found in Karachi, Pakistan, as well as Jordan. And they even have plans to open up an outlet in China.
They are everywhere.
The chain began as one restaurant, Golden Fried Chicken, in San Marcos, Texas in 1967. It has since expanded to over 180 restaurants, and in 1996, they changed their name to Golden Chick. Frying chicken has always been at the heart of what they do, but since 1985, their calling card has been their fried chicken strips known as Golden Tenders. One bite of these super crispy strips, and you'll probably be a fan for life. Milo's Hamburgers.
Sauce.
The restaurant made its debut in Birmingham in 1946, and as of 2016, they were up to a total of 16 locations throughout the state. Although their hamburgers are great, they just might be more recognized for their sweet tea, which you can try without visiting Alabama. Recognizing how popular their sweet tea was, starting in the 1980s, the company began selling it in grocery stores throughout the country. Today, it can be found in stores in more than 20 states, from Alabama to Hawaii.
Pretty eliminate.
But head back to the Alabama locations, and that's where you get those yummy burgers and the other thing that is almost as famous as their tea, their secret sauce. They put it on their burgers, you can dip your fries in it, and from what we've heard, you might just want to go ahead and dip your whole face in it. It's that good. And speaking of those fries, Milo's does crinkle cut style and sprinkles them with their secret orange seasoned salt.
I'm going back to bed. Okay?
Injured when beachgoers became violent and fights broke out during the show, with large crowds expected to get